pattern for conjugating regular verbs in German are as follows. The first person singular ends in E. The second person singular ends in ST. Third person singular ends in T. The first person plural ends in EN, which is the infinitive form. The second person plural ends in T, while the third person plural also ends in ET. Today I will be talking about verbs. In German, verbs are presented in the infinitive form. Verben sind als Infinitiv präsentiert. So if we define infinitive, we're talking about the to be or to have. In sentences, we use infinitives in the beginning. To be or not to be is a famous line from Shakespeare. In German, the infinitive form, instead of having to in front of it, it would have the n or en at the end of the verb. For example, to be is sein. To have is haben. To jump, springen. To dance, tanzen. To juggle, jonglieren. To write, schreiben. When conjugating regular verbs, there is a basic pattern that we would follow. There's a first person singular, second person singular, third person singular. This would be I, you, and he or she. In plurals, we also have a first, second, and third person. That would be we, you all, and they. In German, those would be ich, du, sie, or es, wir, ihr, sie. Now we can't get the third person singular and the third person plural mixed up. You notice that the z in the singular is lowercased, while the z in the plural is capitalized. While conjugating, the pattern is simple. In the first person singular, the verb always ends in E. Second person, the du, ends in st. Third person ends in t. Plural, first person, we, ends in en. In regular verbs, the wir, first person plural, is the same as the infinitive. If we look at haben, to have, it would be we have. In German, it would be wir haben. The second person plural ends in a T. Third person plural, sie, is they. When looking at haben and using the pattern that I just described, it would be ich habe, dropping the n on haben to form the first person singular ending in an e. Du hast. Here, haben is a slightly variated regular verb. It does end in all of the natural endings. However, when you look at haben and also put the second person singular ending, you would have an H-A-B-S-T spelling. And if you think about that, that would be pronounced Habst. That doesn't really roll off the tongue. So a long time ago, Germans decided to just drop the B. Instead of having the B in there, we now have H-A-S-T, hast. Du hast. Third person singular is sie hat, ends in the T. The B is also dropped. Wir haben, ihr habt. Here the B is kept because it is in the plural form. Wir and sie are both similar or the same as the infinitive. Using this pattern for regular verbs, let's conjugate to go. Using the root word geh, G-E-H, ich would end up with the E at the end, just dropping the N. Gehe, ich gehe. Du, the second person singular, ends with st. The root geh plus the ending of st would be du gehst. Third person ends in t. G-E-H-T. Es geht. First person plural ends in en. It's the same as the infinitive form. Wir gehen. Ihr ends with a T, the same as the third person singular. Ihr geht. Third person plural ends in an en. It's also the same as the infinitive. Sie gehen. To recap, that is, ich gehe, du gehst, es geht, wir gehen, ihr geht, sie geht. Another example is to bring, bringen. The same patterns apply. The root word is bring, the same spelling as the English word bring. Adding the e on the end, ich bringe, st, du bringst. Adding the t, bringt. Adding the en, which is the infinitive, wir bringen. Adding a t, ihr bringt.